Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our next chapter of our incredible journeys Discover, Adventure, Danger, and Endurance. This is your Spring 2 novel study book, and we hope that you're enjoying it as much as we are. This chapter is called Women in the Middle East. I recently circumnavigated the Arabian Peninsula and can confirm that this oblong-shaped landmass is home to some of the most challenging deserts and hostile environments on Earth. It's even more difficult to travel there 150 years ago, but that never stopped the incredible women who have explored the lands of Arabia. Here are just a few of my favourites. So we've got here Freya Stark, and that's an illustration of her here. From the intrepid adventurer Freya Stark, travelling was all about stories. She picked the Middle East for her first trip because her favourite childhood book was The Arabian Nights. Stark would plod along on the back of a mule in the hot desert sun in search of villages and landmarks in the Middle East that she'd heard of, and was often the first European woman the local people had ever seen. Despite catching malaria and dengue fever, she always kept going. In 1931, she visited the Valley of Assassins, home to the dangerous Persian tribe known for murdering visitors. But thankfully, she survived. You've got Jane de la Foy. De la Foy was a French woman who was determined not to let society's expectations hold her back. When her husband Marcel was sent to the front of the Franco-Persian War, she made sure that she wasn't left behind. Disguised in a soldier's uniform, she fought for her country by his side. It was a habit that stuck. During her later adventures abroad, de la Foy wore men's clothing and she cut her hair short. She and Marcel went to Persia in 1881 to take part in an archaeological dig at Susa. To get there, they had to trek 6,000 kilometers on horseback. When 8 bandits tried to accost her, de la Foy held them off at gunpoint, telling them, "I have 14 bullets of gunpowder at my disposal. Come back with 6 more friends." Wow, what a brave woman. You then have Isabella Bird. Some adventurers look back towards some adventurers look forward to the creature comforts of home when they return after a long journey. That was not the case for Isabella Bird, who once she started exploring age 40 rarely managed to stay at home for a few months before setting off again. "I abhor civilization," she once exclaimed. Perhaps her most celebrated journey was through the Persian Gulf, where she hiked and travelled by mule in freezing temperatures, surviving blizzards, robberies, and intense hunger. I'm always amazed by her strength. Ever since childhood, Bird had suffered from back problems, but she always ploughed on and never had let her health stop her from going on adventures. In fact, she first started venturing outdoors to try and improve her constitution. You then have Gertrude Bell. Here she is. Gertrude Bell learned to climb mountains in the Alps, but her lifelong fascination was with the Middle East. In 1892, she set off through Iraq, Syria, and Iran, recording her observations and experiences. She led archaeological digs in Iraq and wrote the country's first antiquities law. When the First World War broke out, she became a diplomat and spy, utilizing her knowledge of local languages and her regional contacts to become indispensable. And finally, Dervla Murphy. Murphy set off on a bicycle in 1963, determined to travel solo from her homeland in Ireland across Europe and the Middle East to reach India. She did, and along the way, she fractured 3 ribs in Afghanistan and even stayed with a wali or Islamic saint in Pakistan. She'd been travelling ever since to Peru and Siberia, Ethiopia and Jordan, writing books about her adventures as she goes. In recent years, she's explored life in Israel and Palestine, seeking to understand the tensions found across local divide. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all about women in the Middle East. And as you can see here, our next story is all about the wonderful woman, Amelia Earhart. We hope you're enjoying this video so far. And if you do have any questions or queries, please do not hesitate to get in contact. Have a wonderful day and speak to you soon. Bye.